What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are sitting on my floor because we're about to get up close and personal into all things work. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram in terms of balancing things, in terms of stress management, the things that I do, how I got into them, and you guys did exactly that. So today I'm going to be answering all of your questions right here. So in case you didn't see the TikTok where I got a little bit more into detail about what I do, I'll give you a little backstory here. So I started working when I turned 15 and I got 2 jobs at once, and then the rest is history since then. I have not stopped working and I've always worked at least 2 jobs. So at the moment I work full-time in marketing. Like I said, I quit corporate to move into the agency life, and then I also do freelance with social media management and content creation for a number of companies in different industries. And then I also work on my own social brands and building the platforms up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, that kind of stuff. And then finally, when the world was normal, I was also doing makeup artistry and wedding planning, which is currently on hold a little bit, but as soon as everything's back to normal, that'll be in full swing as well. So I do a lot without tooting my own horn. I mean that just in the most factual way possible. I do a lot, and on top of everything that I do for work, I obviously do like to socialize, spend time with my friends, spend time with my boyfriend, work out, again, when life was normal, but there's a lot of things that go into my day-to-day, and it can often get very overwhelming. So a lot of you had questions about that I'm gonna address in a couple seconds, but I think the top question on both Instagram as well as TikTok was how I got into social media management, social media marketing, and content creation. If I had to identify my first client, I guess I would say it started with the wedding planning company that I have been working with. So throughout university, social media was starting to take off, influencer marketing, all of that kind of stuff was really starting to blow up, and it made it apparent that social media was not just something that people did for fun or as a pastime anymore, but it was something that was very lucrative, and my natural interest for creation and creativity and innovation was very invested into social media. And I started working in hospitality as part of the many jobs that I had as a university student, and in being so invested in this company and watching it grow, everything about it, especially its presentation online and its community online, was very personal to me. So as our team continued to grow and the company started to grow as well, I was kind of given the opportunity, as well as grew into the opportunity of being more of a social media specialist for the company. That's kind of where I was given the fuel and the little push to say, you know what, I actually really do love social media, and I was already kind of developing my interests and growing my personal brands at the time as well. So it just came really naturally, and then that kind of kickstarted my journey in freelancing for social media and content creation. And then fast forward today, you may have already seen on a few of my platforms, but I do freelance for a lot of different companies in different industries, including obviously wedding planning / hospitality, e-commerce for apparel brands, beauty brands, even candy brands if you guys saw the Narcity posts. But yeah, long story short, I guess it all started with the wedding planning company, and I didn't really have to scout my first client. It kind of just came to me, and then my knowledge and interest in social media and all of that kind of stuff was not really formal at the time. I just did all of this self-learning and really was able to build my skill set through practice. Moving on, another question that was really common was, how do you zone in on one task when there are 40 other tasks at hand? And what's your routine for getting everything done, especially throughout such an uncertain time? So this is a great question, and I understand so many people are going through it. Things have been all over the place for a very long time now. So I feel like I've tried to develop some sort of normal for myself. There is absolutely no routine, if I'm being completely honest. In terms of actually getting things done though, and trying to focus on the particular tasks at hand that I need to get done, I always resort to making lists. I'm very planner focused, obviously being an event planner, that is part of my nature. I am very organized as a person. That just gives me peace. I try to really hone in on the few things that need to be done pretty much immediately, because let's be real, there are a million things going on at all times, especially in adulthood or even as a student or anything. As you start to grow up, there are more responsibilities on your plate, and it's really important to have planning tools to help you prioritize and see things at a glance so that you don't get overwhelmed and feel like everything's too daunting for you to even address any one thing. So I'm very much into like writing things down. I'm very big on agendas and like physically crossing things off. But my boyfriend, on the other hand, which many of you might be like, he prefers like digital planners. Things is an app, if you're not familiar with it, you should definitely check it out, that really helps you to prioritize things, and the UX of it is amazing, and it's really, really user-friendly. It's really personalizable as well. So if you're into digital planners and like prioritization tools, check that out. Like I said, like to write things down, but I still really do enjoy things as well. So biggest thing for me, make to-do lists. I'm gonna sprinkle this in here as well. With prioritization comes valuing your time and energy as well. And I'm talking more on like the social spectrum, but it's really hard, obviously, to balance everything from your professional to personal life on a day-to-day. And it's easy for people on the outside to think that you are doing things for a reason that isn't necessarily true, and sometimes you just need to know where to draw the line and what's worth your energy and what's not. I've gotten that a lot, and I've kind of always gotten that in my life, but obviously as I've grown into someone who's just so immersed in my work and honestly loves it that way. So many people question like where I've been, what I've been up to, why I haven't messaged, why I haven't checked in and stuff. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't come down to me not caring or me not wanting to. It's just there are even more pressing things at hand. It's a very hard pill to swallow sometimes, both for yourself and the other party, but it's something that you kind of just have to do in life, and that's sometimes the only way that you'll start to get ahead and grow from the day before. So that's that. Anyway, next question is, how many hours a week to work do you generally dedicate? I don't really keep count. It's kind of hard to like draw the line though, because with social media being so much of what I do for work as well as what I do for enjoyment sometimes, like I honestly really love working, and I'm essentially working when I'm doing things for fun and doing things for fun when I'm working, and I'm so glad that this is where I am now. It definitely didn't start like this, but I'm glad I've gotten to this point. Most of the time during my free time or time to just do what I love, like I end up doing things that are work related, or I'm doing work. So I would say honestly like 60 hours, 65, and when I'm like planning and doing makeup as well, like for the wedding industry stuff, that definitely piles on as well. So it can get very exhausting, but I'm really grateful that I've gotten to a point where I'm doing things that I love, and only things that I love. Kind of making its way into the next question is, how do you avoid social media burnout between Instagram, TikTok, and everything in between? It's definitely very real, and that was one thing that I was kind of worried about with taking so much creative work on at once. It's kind of scary to be thinking that, okay, I need to have my creative juices flowing at all times. The thing for me is just to take risks and try new things, because that's what keeps things fresh and exciting for both your audience and you as a creator, a strategist, whatever it is that you might be doing. So that's how I avoid burnout. And like I said, I spend a lot of time on social media, so sometimes it can start to like infiltrate your brain, and it can get very, very cloudy and overwhelming. So at those points, I take a step back. As social media is a beautiful tool, but it can be very dangerous as well, so we gotta use it sparingly. Next question is, what's your motivation when you just don't feel like getting out of bed? You know those mornings. Oh, sis, I do. I know those mornings for sure. I'm always someone who needs to be doing something and feeling busy to some extent, whether it's even just doing chores around the house or doing like self-care or whatever it is. It doesn't always need to be work, but I always need to be doing something. That is something I need to work on, for being someone who just needs to be productive to feel passionate, and needs to be passionate to feel productive every day. That's my biggest like push to get out of bed in the morning, knowing that I'm getting another opportunity to do what I love or take risks or be better than I was yesterday. I think the biggest thing that can be generalizable for all of us is momentum. The second you have momentum with something, even if it's just like doing 2 workouts a week, knowing that you've been doing that for, let's say, 3 weeks now, you're like, okay, I can do it this week because I did it last week and the week before and the week before that. Momentum is such a powerful thing that gives you that adrenaline push and gives you that rush of excitement to do what you need to do. Work-life balance. How do you balance between your multiple jobs and passions during the week? So like I said, planning and writing things out, making lists is huge for me, and time blocking / like segmenting my day. I just really, really like diversity in my schedule. As much as I love to work, I love diversity in my schedule, which is why I've always taken on so many different things to be able to add excitement to my day, to not make every day feel monotonous. Another very common question is, how do you cope with stress and overcome it while working? So stress management has again been one of those things that I have not always been good at. I have had very, very dark periods, as I'm sure many of you guys have. I feel like as much as it's draining and scary to go through those experiences, they're sometimes so necessary because you grow from them, you learn from them, and you know what to look out for if ever the signs start to show up again. But in terms of stress management in the now, what I like to do every morning is I've started journaling and I'll write down some intentions and manifestations. I found that in doing so, I'm able to regulate my emotions and face a lot of the things that are caught in my head and not necessarily getting to be voiced every day. So journaling is huge. It's done so much for me this month. Stress management also comes with being in environments or surrounding yourself with people that genuinely make you feel like the best version of yourself. So I know obviously with the circumstances of the world right now, it's kind of hard. We're in situations that we can't necessarily control our surroundings, and everyone's home, everyone's getting a little stir crazy, and that's totally understandable. Give yourself a break from your work sometimes. Take a few minutes to go through a quick little meditation exercise, breathing exercise, step outside, get some fresh air. Listen to lo-fi. I find that lo-fi and jazz, especially while I'm working, helps to keep my stress levels at some equilibrium. How to break into a work field for which you might not have formal work experience or education. I only got my postgrad for digital marketing last year, but before that, everything was self-taught and self-directed learning and done through trial and error and experiences that I kind of created myself. The formal work experience didn't come until I decided to start taking risks. So if you want to get into social media management, for example, put your heart and soul into learning all about it so that you can actually create a service, like an a la carte service even, and approach people in your immediate circle and say, hey, I've actually started doing social media management. I'm sure you have people in your circle that run their own businesses or work for companies that could benefit from your a la carte service. And at that point, you'll be able to build up your portfolio, build networks with people that are in the field so that you build some sort of presence in that industry and people know that you speak their language and you understand that kind of concept. How do you fight procrastination? I feel like personally for me, because I have so much happening at all times, I don't really have the room to procrastinate. Try to look for little things in my day that make me excited, whether it's after work, I get to get sushi, or after work, my boyfriend and I are making TikToks. So whatever it is in your day, try to find the little things that can keep you motivated. Do the task that you want to do the least first. So try to get that daunting task out of the way and get it done and off your to-do list first thing in the morning. It might suck and you might want to push it to the end, but remember, the second it's done, you don't have to deal with it. So that's what I do. That's what gets me through most of my days. And finally, I feel like I've been talking for so long. If you made it here, thank you. What is your dream job? I really do believe in manifesting your reality and you having the power to bring your dreams to life. And things have come to fruition that I've really been wanting for a very long time with hard work and mind work. In terms of dream job, we'll check in a little while once I have updates on that, if I have updates, but I'm honestly very, very happy with where I am right now. I am so grateful for all of you that stuck around for this. I hope I answered your questions, or at least the main questions that you had. And like I said, if you have anything that you want me to dive deeper into and address in another video, definitely let me know in the comments. I love to talk, especially when it's about things that make people feel passionate and positive about their lives, because everyone deserves to feel that. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.